This is Nick Nielsen, Mad Scientist of Muscle, and what I've got for you here is going to make you want to murder me. I promise. This is a triple drop set lactic acid training protocol, front squat, machine in the squat rack workout. Now, the concept here is very simple. The basic idea is we want to crank up as much lactic acid production in our lower body as possible. The focus with this particular exercise is going to be on the quads, so a lot of muscles there, a lot of lactic acid is going to be produced. What I've got here, and you can see in the setup, is diagonal bars. Now I've got two bars set up, one here, one on the other side. And I'll give you a close-up from the other angle here as well so you can see exactly what the setup is. But essentially, one side set right to about chest level, the other side set to about hip level. What we're going to do is use this as a front squat machine. So load a couple of 25s on here. You can start with one, maybe two, see how you go. This is going to be all about lactic acid. So we're looking for fairly high reps on the first part. What you're going to do is as many reps as you can. Now because this is set up in the rack, there's no reason to not push yourself until lactic acid essentially shuts you down. You're not going to get stuck under anything. So I've got two 25s on here. I'm going to do as many as I can with the two 25s on each one. Immediately strip off one of these 25s, put the collars back on, keep going. As many reps as I can. Take the last set of 25s off with just the empty bars and keep going. Now I'm going to keep going until basically I can't stand anymore. So that's what makes this one so fun. Now, one key thing here before I do get into it, you want to make sure you've got good solid collars on here and that you're careful when you're taking the collars off and putting the plates off to the side. Because once you take that collar off, there's a tendency for these plates to slide right off. So be careful when you're doing that. Keep your focus even if you're basically gassed as you're doing these. But bottom line, we want as much lactate as possible. And this exercise with the loading in front is going to shift the load onto the front into the quads rather than having to worry about focusing more on the glutes. So this exercise is going to be a murderous one, and I'm going to get going now because I'm running out of things to say. So here's what it looks like. So that is the training technique, and you can see by how I'm doing it how much fun it truly is. Now, one key point to notice when you're doing this, because the weight is fairly light, it's not going to cause a whole lot of muscle damage. The idea here is to really just generate lactic acid. So in that respect, don't rest at the top. When you come to the lockout, don't fully lock out. Keep a little bit of tension in the quads and don't rest at the top. Drop right back down. If you want to rest, quote unquote, rest at the bottom when your muscles are under tension and locked down essentially, so no lactate is getting in or out of the muscles. So that'll make it a lot more challenging, a lot more effective, and really freaking hard. So give this setup a try. This is a great one to finish a workout with, or to do, what I'm gonna do is 3 sets of this, 3 sets of the triple drop, and pretty much that's all you need for legs. And the real beauty of this setup is this railing right here. It stops the movement, and you can push until you fall down, essentially. The other big thing about this one is it takes the loading off of the supporting muscles of the body and puts it exactly where you want the work to be, in this case the quads. If you think about it, when you're doing a front squat, it is very rarely the quads that fail. It's usually the shoulders, the upper back, or the core that gives up. What this setup is going to do is allow you to put all the focus on the quads, push them until they completely burn out without having to worry about fatiguing the core, upper back, or shoulders. So you're welcome. This one is a fantastic exercise, fantastic combination, and I think you're going to love it.